my poncho with me. One trekking pole, the other trekking pole is dusted from the last crash. This one's bent too, but it'll work. I gotta cross a lot of rivers. One camera, small tripod, 2 extra batteries, although this battery will last forever. I got an umbrella, and I have my ULA circuit pack. I'm gonna go in and try to get out a couple more bags of that trash. Wildtech headlight. Put this poncho on and get moving. It's gonna get dark pretty soon. The reason I'm going in on a Saturday is I did my taxes today, so get it while you can. Okay, here's my setup. Let's see, I'm over there. I lost one of my toggles somewhere, so I've got a stick there. Let's see. There you go, stick. The other side's got a toggle. I can't show that. It's behind me. I pitched the tarp a little bit high, I think. Maybe not. I've got about 1.5 foot clearance on that side and about 1.5 foot clearance on this side. Next to a boulder here. I've got my poncho there, my cook kit on there, my dry stuff in here, wet socks hanging on a 550 cord that I ran alongside the ridge line. My pack's off the ground. My food's down there by the river. It's only about 6 feet off the ground. If something wants to grab it, they can grab it. I don't care. My pants are soaked, so my pants are on the 550. My pack's on the 550. Hooked up from the chest strap to the waist strap. My hat's balancing on there. That gray thing there is a cover in case it gets too cold. I can cover this up. I think I'll be fine though. And it's probably pretty early, but I was gonna bake something, but I'm soaked. I'm just miserable. I'm not miserable, but it's a miserable night. Oh, and I got some dry socks up there. So in here, I brought my thermal shirt, but I didn't bring my thermal pants, unless they're in there. If it gets cold, I'll check. But I've got this 20-degree over quilt, 3-inch extra stuffing, a Jack's 20-degree underquilt, Hennessy hammock, my camera case hung up down there, a Coleman 4 AA lantern. Bought that years ago, used that with my daughter. I still use it for nostalgic reasons. Got my phone in here, and I have my wallet put in a grocery bag in case I fall in the river, which I did, and it saved it. Luckily, I didn't fall in. I fell in backwards, so my phone didn't get wet somehow. Swiss Army knife and beanie, shirt, dry shirt, and an inflatable $7, I think 7 or maybe 9, inflatable Trekology pillow. And I'm just gonna lay here and listen to the rain and relax and decompress. And at the time first I had a 72 Camaro, and then I had a 72 Nova. And the Nova was really cool. And being in 10th grade and have a 72 Nova, drive around playing Van Halen, you were something. But everybody knew me. And then I had this girlfriend named Renee, and my friend Wayne had this girlfriend named what was her name? I forget her first name, but I know her last name. I know her last name was Crambo because there's an old cartoon. There's an old cartoon with Tom and Jerry, and Jerry had a cousin come visit, and this cousin looked just like him, but had boots and a western hat and played a guitar. A lot of you are going to remember this. Played a guitar, and he'd play his song. Crambo, Froggy had to run, he didn't like Crambo. And every time his guitar string would break, he'd pull out one of Tom's whiskers. Bing! Here, kitty, kitty, bing! And so, Regina Crambo, that was her name. And she was really pretty, Renee was really pretty, so everybody knew us. So even though I didn't play lacrosse, everybody knew me. And then after high school, I saw how American Pie, that let me think of his name. Strickner, I think it's Strickner because Strickner's mom, yeah. Anyway, how that Strickner, all the rest of the gang went their separate ways and into business and studies and this and that and moved out and did everything, and Strickner was like, and at the reunion he was trying to make it back the same way, and it's sort of sad, but I'm Strickner. I'm Strickner from my high school, and I'm Strickner from my neighborhood, and I'm Strickner from the East Fork. I'm still at it. I'm still out here doing shots. So, I don't know. I don't know how much longer I'll be at it. I had a really good life. But I remember how it was. Back in high school, as far back as junior high, myself, a friend named Doug Young, Ronnie Lemke, Wayne Eklund, Crambo's boyfriend. We used to go fishing all the time. Almost every day of the week. Even during school. Get off school and take our fishing poles to school and leave them in the office or in Mr. Johnson, the woodshop teacher's room. And after school, straight to the lake. Fish for a few hours till it got dark. Then go home, do homework, go back to school, the same thing. Weekends from sunup to sundown. We had this little where I live, we'd hit Laguna Lake in Fullerton most of the time during the week. That was always the one during the week. And sometimes on weekends, we'd go up to Tri-City on Kramer one day. The second day, we'd riding our bikes, mind you, out to Carbon Canyon, or the next week we'd go out to Las Coyotes in La Mirada, or La Mirada Regional. We hit the piers sometimes on the weekend for the jetties. Then we got cars with Silverwood, Puddingstone, Elsinore, Vale, Hemet. And then I found one down in Huntington Beach. I don't know the name of that one. In high school, senior year. You go all the way down, I think Beach Boulevard to Edinger. I think it's Edinger, I don't remember. There's one high-rise building, the biggest high-rise building on the right, the last one before you hit the beach. You make a right on that street and go down and turn left. We catch a whole stringer of catfish there. That's great. We had this crazy dream. Back then, my childhood, we'd go to used bookstores. I had a different childhood, way different than nowadays. Go to used bookstores and we'd collect books. We'd buy them for a quarter, as low as a quarter, sometimes $1. Used books, old books on fishing, backpacking, camping, but mostly fishing. And we'd try all kinds of different catfish baits. But these were old books, 60s, 50s, 60s, some back as far as the 40s. Old catfish baits. And then we had a subscription forever for Field and Stream. H.T. Tapley, I believe. Taps Tips. Every month came out with 10 Taps Tips on baits and whatever. And we had this dream about we were going to grow up. This is between myself and Doug and Ronnie. We wanted to grow up and either take Bill Dance's place, Bill Dance was just getting started, or Roland Martin's place. Yeah. Didn't happen. I'm still fishing the same lakes. I'm still camping the same canyons, and the same trails, and the same summits. Friend Kevin Saldana used to be a big backpacker. He moved to Alaska. Way back when the pipeline was being built, he was an excellent welder in a metal shop, and he got a job over there welding, and then a job underwater welding, and he's retired up there with probably buku acres and well off. Never heard from him again. The whole world left me behind. What can you do? Yeah, I guess sometimes life happens that way. You grow up, you stay local. I mean, I've been a lot of places. I've lived a bunch of different places. But always ended up Central Orange County, North Orange County. Never far from where I was born. I was born in a small town. I can breathe in a small town. I'll probably die in a small town. But it's good enough for me. First light. There's the river. Nick, I got my food bag. There. I was in this hammock since about 7 o'clock last night till it's about 7 now with a time change. So I've been laying here for 12 hours and I slept the entire time. Man, I felt great. It's not gonna feel good putting those wet pants back on though. I have dry socks on. They won't be dry for long once I put those boots back. Just one of the toggles. No big deal. I think Phil Collins wrote a song about this. I don't care anymore. I brought biscuits and gravy for breakfast, but instead I'm going to have myself some cornbread and coffee. Just keep back here for at least 40 minutes now, waiting for the cornbread. Well, things change. No cornbread for me today. Bow, bow, bow. I forgot the egg. Some of those mixes you get from the grocery store require an egg. Some don't. I forget the other one we make. Banana nut does not take an egg. And they're the same color bag, so got the egg. So I'm just gonna use my REI stove and make some coffee. I may have the biscuits and gravy later, but right now I'm not really that hungry. I didn't really eat dinner last night either. I don't know. This is some really good coffee. Ranch 99. Let me see. That means I brought in my kettle. My MSR kettle. I brought in my batchstoves.com, some butter, and some alcohol fuel, all for a free turnaround ride, meaning I can touch them. But I'll save them for another day. Here's some sheep walking around up there, knocking some boulders, some pebbles down here and there. Knocking pebbles down. I'd like to see him knock Bam Bam down. Bam, 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 bam. Hopefully my KOVERKOTE stash is still here and still dry. Lieutenant Folger's coffee can here somewhere. Let me think. It's been a while. Somewhere around here. Okay, I remember. Yes. Maxwell House. And it's still dry. Awesome. So I'm going to go downriver, get one small spot, and then go upriver and get about a half a dozen more. Then I'm going to go up past the Taliban camp to the bridge to nowhere, just south of the bridge to nowhere, and take the high trail back. Here we go. We're gonna get this and this and this. Then we can get back on the trail. It's a really damp day, so it's going to take some time to dry, but there's no rain planned in the near future. That will dry pretty good. That will dry great. Look, there was some over there. That's pretty much dry. It's getting there. It'll lighten up and take the color of the rock, as will this. But look at that. It covered that blue. You can still see through it in certain areas. See the blue, but it actually will blend in when it's dry. Cover coat. So this going out, and I got a bag down waiting for me down at the river where this river meets the other. That bird singing actually came right here and landed when I put my pack on and looked at what I was doing. Then he sang a little bit and flew off. You can hear him back there by the waterfall. Pretty neat. He's coming to check out what I was doing. He wasn't even scared of me though. He landed right there. He landed right there. Look, right up there by that tree. Somewhere right there. Let me see. There it is. Some scribble, graffiti. Perhaps he's singing too. Perhaps he's showing me. Can you get this one while you're here? Look at that. Look at him right there. That is neat. That is really cool. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. I was down there when I was filming up here, and I was filming this. This will dry pretty nice. The bird was landed right there. Look at the rock right in back of him. Had graffiti on it, and this one had graffiti on it. That will dry the exact same color as that rock. That one's a white rock, so not so much, but it will blend in a lot better than the graffiti did. I put it really light on that one and spread it out. It will dry. As a matter of fact, right in the outskirts of the let's see, right there, it's starting to dry. It's starting to lighten up, take shape. The rock's starting to show through it. This one too. want to go through here, around this finger, around 2 more, and then catch a trail up to the high trail and take that back. I'm going to tell you a little story, a real short story of something incredible that happened the other day. About a year ago, I guess, I shot a video right here by that rock, and I used a modest Matisyahu song, Shade from the Sun. Okay, after that, I used Matisyahu on a picture slideshow for my trip to Israel. People ask me, who is this artist? Who's this singing? So I told them, they go, does he tour anymore? And I said, I've not seen him on tour for a while. I wish he would tour again. I'd like to see the guy live. Well, I no sooner answered that question than Thursday at work, Wednesday or Thursday at work, at break time, I called Jack FM. They were having a bar mitzvah party for their 13th year anniversary. And who better to have play a bar mitzvah than Matisyahu? Well, I was caller 13. I won. I'm going to see Matisyahu live. Incredible. I said, I wonder if this guy tours again. Then they book him. Less than a month later, they book him. Now, roll the tapes back a little bit more. I was talking with a friend of mine, Steven, Jennifer's husband, and I said, man, I wish I could see Devo in concert. He goes, one of them died, I believe, and he goes, they're up there in age. I don't think they tour anymore. The lead singer's got a bunch of stuff going, but I don't think they tour anymore. Well, he goes, I'd like to see the Damned. They're my favorite band of all time, the Damned. Well, they announced Wednesday also that Devo and the Damned are going on tour together for a 40th year anniversary. How does that, incredible. You say something or think something and it comes to be. But the things I really want and say, they never materialize fully. In a way they do, but well, I don't want to bring the story down. But I'm going to see Matisyahu, and I hope I get a chance to talk to the guy. I've been to 2 other Jack FM proms, and I saw Flock of Seagulls one time, and I saw the guy that sings I Want to Be a Cowboy, and Bow Wow Wow, I Want Candy, a few other people, but they did their gig and took off. I hope Matisyahu hangs out and mixes with the people and talks, because I'd like to talk to him about my trip to Israel and how he played a big part in that, getting my interest up. And if you haven't listened to Matisyahu, you should listen to him. He's like reggae, but he sings about God and the Bible. And he really got into it. I saw him years ago on, that guy that retired, not Jay Leno, the other one. I'm drawing a blank right now. My mind's going a million miles an hour. I'll think of it in a minute. Blonde hair, glasses. Came back recently with a beard. He was on his show, and as a full Jewish attire, the black hat. It's on YouTube. I'll put a link in the details below. Check him out. To further add a balloon up there. Squirrel. To further add coinky-dink to that story, the guy that goes, he picked up the phone. I mean, I tried 2 days and multiple times. And when finally I got a pickup, I go, yeah! He's all, easy guy, you blew my eardrums out, with a British accent. But not so much British. He'd been here for a while. It wasn't Richard Blade, so they have another guy there. He didn't give his name. But when he asked for all my information, we were talking. He asked for all my information. I gave my email. My email is Elric. I won't say where, but at what server, but it's Elric. And he goes, "Hey, Elric, where did you come up with that name?" I go, "The Immortal, the Bane Blade. Blue Oyster Cult wrote a song about the Bane Blade. That's from Immortal. Moorcock." He goes, "I know all about that. That's one of my favorites." And look at that stitch on that rock. Squirrel, see that stitch? He goes, "That's one of my favorites. Have you read all the books?" I said, "I've read all of them up into the last 3. I have them, and I've just been distracted the last few years, the last decade. All kinds of other stuff hitting me. But yeah, I have." And Moorcock, his books are, he's brilliant. He's out of Texas. He's brilliant. All of his books, different storylines, going back as far as the 60s, different storylines. The characters leave one book and pop through another book. Everything in the multiverse is connected. Everything's a woven pattern. We were way up there. We were up above it. And everything's interwoven. And so he's got a bunch of other princes and Dreamweaver, all kinds of characters that are just interwoven through his books. And I was talking to this guy about it, and he was totally into these books. It was pretty cool, because I don't come across people that are familiar with Elric very often. I give them my email address, and they're like, "What does that mean?" But yeah, it was one of my favorites. One of my favorite sci-fi books. Incredible. He's got the Bane Blade. It's a life-sucking blade. So when it's basically Highlander, but it was written before Highlander. He's the last of the albinos of his race, and when the blade cuts into somebody, he gets their powers, their knowledge. Oh, it's a great book. Hard to find them anymore. If you're just starting your collection, some of them are dang near impossible to get hold of. One of them I got on eBay from back in Illinois, I believe. A teacher back in Illinois. About 10 years ago. I paid $20 for a $2.50 book. But it was worth it. On a previous video called Trognan's High Trail, about George Trognan, he was on the team that actually put in the light trail to power and light. He was on the team that did that. There's another one right up there, another one right there, another one around the corner. He was on the team that did that, and he fell in love with Iron Fork and spent the rest of his life there. You gotta check out that video. Look at this.
Alright. Doing more than
1, 2, 3. This group here that crosses in this area, there are 6. So there's probably some more somewhere around. And this one here, he's got a scar on his other side. And that big one, the big one in the lead, his left horn is almost broken in half. Watch, I'll try to get around him and show you. Here he is. Oh, there's his left horn. It's almost broken, cracked in a couple spots. It's starting to rain. It wasn't supposed to rain today. So the other ones may be here, but they may not have crossed. This is where they come out of. They come down out of this every morning. Come down out of here, they cross way up there for some reason, then they come back around, they go up here, they disappear. It's their daily scheduled thing. Look at that. Delicioso. Later, guys. Have a good day. They're coming down for a drink. They're working their way back down to the river. I do hear movement up here. I think just on the other side, there's maybe some laying down right under that manzanita. I'll tell when I get back over there. Look at them. Coming right down on the trail I'm standing on. They're only about 70 feet away from me right now. And only about 5 feet higher than I stand. Look at that, they just bolted by. They just bolted by, look at that. Look at that. They're over there, they're gonna go back up. Whoa, there he goes. Right on. Let's see if I can. Oh no, they just, some people coming down the trail. Okay, they're just over there for safety for now. Okay, I'm out of here. A lot of you locals that have done the through hike of the East Fork know about the legendary prospectors back there. One of their holes that they dug was viewable by Google Earth. Okay, now look at, from this right here, you used to be able to see the East Fork River. All this rock, all of it, was moved by one guy. He did have help on this end with one guy on and off, but he did all this. I'm going to show you the legendary new hole of that unnamed prospector. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, it went straight across from here. There's the ground level. It went straight across to the river. All of this starts, his hole, the hole starts way back there at that log where that guy is. That's where he started digging. Look at this. He's dropped down there about 6 feet. Here about 10. There he's down about 20. Look at that. He's over there right now with his wheelbarrow. Loads his wheelbarrow, takes it over, runs it through a sluice box. Look at this. This is, you can see this from Google Earth. I've got a short ways back. My stuff's up there. I've got a short ways back to the trail. And look at, there used to be steps right here where there used to be right there. There used to be a cabin. There's barbed wire up there, fence where he had his burrows, and I'm telling you, this place is filled with history. Look at this. shall remain unnamed, but all the locals know who he is. He showed me a couple garnets that he found. About the size, average size of a medium-sized pop rock. About that size.